Good morning, Bitcoin. Sensei Tutum here with your semi-regular Bitcoin update for you, your Friday Bitcoin update. Haven't I'm not going to promise that I'll always do these, but I've done them for the last couple of weeks now, and they've been pretty well received. So as long as I feel like doing them and you guys are enjoying them, I'll probably be uploading them. So make sure to show the love. I'll either do them straight to YouTube on a short video, or I'm sorry, Twitter, straight to Twitter at Sensei Tutum. If you're on YouTube and you haven't added me yet, at Sensei Tutum. Yeah, I'll either do them straight to Twitter, short video, or like this one will be on YouTube, a little bit longer. So if you like it, go ahead and follow me over there on Twitter. And it's only recently that I started posting on Twitter, guys. Some guys in the public Discord would ask me every once in a while when I'd go interact with them, hey, how do we see your charts, Toots? And, well, the answer was always you can't. I've only posted in the private Discord. And I'm usually fairly private, which probably seems weird considering I'm recording a video to you now. But that's something that we do here at Trade Devil. So that's why I'm doing it. So, yeah, I'm on Twitter for now. And if you guys want to go over there and follow, please do. And if you like that clean E dubs, that clean E Elliott Wave, if you find it to be that way anyway, go ahead and maybe add up yourself at the Trade Devils TDU, and you can learn how to do it that way. You might hear some snoring or some drinking of water in the background. I've got two corgis that won't leave me alone, so please disregard. Anyway, so where I left off last week with Bitcoin is that I had considered this a one down and it completed A, B, C up, with potentially, this being the end of wave 2 and headed for this wave 3. So this was the trade, right? And in retrospect, that wasn't the case. And if we look and see why that wasn't the case, it's pretty obvious, because what happened is I had this wave here as a wave 4 for this wave. And you do see, on rare occasions, you will see, wave 4s that are that big in comparison to wave 2s here, or vice versa. But really, if I had looked closer and thought about it, I just didn't consider it. This wave 2 to this as a wave 4, just very, very unlikely. Very unlikely. Like, for instance, see how this move here is about the same as this? Like, you just gotta. I see a lot of people that know like the rules and regulations of Elliott Wave fairly decently that will have things like this on their charts super regularly, and worse than this. This is like borderline for what I would ever put as far as the two waves being related within the same impulse. So be careful, guys. And this was, and obviously this is borderline, and it turns out that I was most likely wrong. You got to make sure that if you're saying that two waves are within the same pattern, they have to be similar magnitude. It has to be believable that they are of the same magnitude, of the same degree. So I think that this was more correcting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here somewhere, correcting that for a C. The measures well. Then this came down for an X to correct all of this, which makes a lot of sense. And then now we've had an A, B, and now we're going up for the C. Do we get another leg up? Are we done here? Hard to say. It's interesting that I'm recording the video at this time, because right after I press send, I could be proven wrong and we go to the moon, or I could be proven right, or we could go sideways for a year. Who knows? But it's just an interesting time to be posting. Of course, it's always interesting with Bitcoin, isn't it? So that's where I'm at. Count hasn't changed. Well, it changed a little bit, but it's still 1, 2. And I tell members all the time that when you're trading, it's not it just one trade, one stop, but you're not done. That's not very rarely would that be the end of it. If you're a trader, and in this case, we did get stopped, but we got stopped. We got stopped in profit, because we got short here, and then we got down to here, and I warned you guys on the Twitter feed that this could be, if we're wrong, this could be where we're wrong. Like, and we kind of hit the APP projection to a T, to the tick, and that's not, you're not expecting to the tick stuff, because it's the real world. It's not a computer game where but in the real world, things are rarely ever, like, for instance, you'll never find anything in the real world that's like actually square. If you've ever done any type of type of construction type of work. You'll never, like a tree, you'll never find a straight level tree. Anyway, I digress. We did actually get it to the tick target here. So it was a profitable trade, but then, it went against us. And it's actually, not too surprising is that this has turned around right at the top line of my box. It's not by accident. And it could go through it. When I draw those target boxes, it's not to say that, my entries are within the box and then my stops right on the other side of the box. It doesn't work that way. We talk about that stuff in Discord all the time. So, but, out of that trade, but then, looking for another. I am short a crypto right now. So I'm not short Bitcoin. I won't trade multiple cryptos against the dollar because what's the point, in my opinion? So I just trade the one that I like the best at the time, and right now I'm short a different one, although this is very juicy. So I do see this going down. I don't see anything to change. I got no reason to update my account more than that. But I do want to talk a little more. And what I really want to talk about is sort of like the bulls, because I see a lot of bulls out there. I ran a little Twitter poll yesterday, and unsurprisingly, bearish won on my Twitter feed. And that's, probably because I'm very bearish. So I'm just bearish right now, by the way. I'm not a bear, guys. I just read charts. I want things to be bullish. I would love to be wrong and this goes up, but, I just don't see it happening. So it's not surprising the bearish won on my little Twitter poll with my, little Twitter following. But it seems like the sentiment of the majority of the market right now is bullish, which kind of makes me feel good about my bearish sentiment, to be honest with you. If we look over here at shorts, the market's bullish, man. And, the sentiment of the market is bullish. And it's kind of, I do this a lot, to be honest with you. I'm nervous when I just, if I agree with the crowd, I agree with the crowd. If I don't, I don't. And I'm not going to be influenced by, the fact that most people are bullish. And, especially if you're making videos on YouTube, you kind of expose yourself to be, look at you, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing. So it's, a little nervous, but I am nervous about this call, but I'm very confident, if that makes sense. So, and I like being, honestly, in the past when this happened a lot, members can vouch for it, is that it's usually worked out. It's usually worked out. Not saying it will this time, but it's usually worked out as far as, being against the market. I call this dumb money, to be honest. Anyway, moving on. So I see no real reason to change this. I just threw these pitchforks on here while I was talking that I told you guys would be relevant for a long time. Even this little guy, they're still super relevant. Look at that reaction. Not to say we won't break up out of this. We could go for one more. Who knows? I haven't done a micro on this wave, but it looks like it could be complete to me. I want to talk about the bulls for a second. So we have my bullish alternative, which, of course, is, I haven't eliminated that, which would be a WXY. This would be A, B, putting in C for Y. There could be a chance that this could be some sort of diagonal for an A of a Y. No, it's just, I've always said it's very low probability, and I stand by that now. And the biggest reason why is because this, to me, is a clear impulse. This wave here. I don't see many. It's a clear impulse. So it's hard to get anything other than impulse out of this. I've seen another bullish option out there. One of my members that's pretty decent at Elliott Wave actually has this on, and I think that there's probably some more people that have it too. I'm not sure. I don't go around looking at counts unless someone shows me a count. But they have it as a 1 as a 5 wave, so they would have this in A, B, and then this is a 1, and then this is a 2, and then this is the start of a 3, and then basically what we would do, this would, if you projected this out to high probability relationships, not taking into account this action, because this could only mean one thing, 1 2 1 2, and looking at this move, you're going to do another 1 2, which would mean that 3 wave would be, in my opinion, that starts out this way would have to go nearly vertical after that, the three of the three of the three of the three kind of thing, nearly vertical, and then be well longer than the expected 1618 of the of a typical wave 3 extension. But just taking regular extension probabilities into account, you're going to go up here and break a bearish algo that's been pretty much in control of the market the whole way. And you don't have to go fill him, but you would break that. You would break him if this goes up. Right now we're not filling it for its next trade. Of course, I think it still has a trade on from the last entry. I can't remember. But in any event, you would break that algo. You would make like almost a 90% move off this low. It would be the biggest move in Bitcoin since this move here, since this capitulation at the beginning of the crash, and then we bounced off of that just because it was such a deep dive. And we got like I guess we pretty much doubled in price here almost. Yeah, close to doubled. So similar move to this. But then after this, what have we done? Contract, contract, contract. All the impulsive moves have been down. All the strongest moves. So it would be a change of character in the market, to say the least, in order to play that out. And if this played out the way it would have to play out to make sense in an Elliott perspective, I mean, you'd violate, because this would have to be such a big wave 3. And, that's just talking probabilities. And, these are the things that are important in Elliott Wave. And you can disregard them if you want, but it's not the way you should do it. It's not the way I teach it. It's not the way we teach it here. But just looking at this move, you can look at any price in history of any asset. Impulsive, corrective, right? And we know that now because we went, impulsive, and like corrective, overlap, no overlaps, overlapping, prices contracting, prices expanding. It's pretty basic that this looks corrective. Could it not be corrective? Yeah, again, I reserve the right to be wrong always. I am human, and I'm not perfect, but to me, it's just the bullish option from an Elliott Wave perspective is pretty bunk. So I'm gonna delete that right off the chart, to be honest with you. We're gonna find out real soon if I'm wrong or right here, but be surprised if I'm wrong. Not sure if I can come up with off the top of my head, just thinking now, where this would make a high relative to this pivot, and still be a bearish count. So really keep an eye on this price level, of course. And then in addition to, price contracting and very 3 waves, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there's 3 waves there. In addition to that, let's see if we have any divergences just here on the 1 hour. I know that on the larger time frames are much bigger. So we have lower there, high, lower there. So no divergence there, which you wouldn't expect divergence between 1, 2. In that sense, you would be looking for a hidden bearish, which would mean the oscillator goes higher, price goes lower, which we did not actually get here. You could also get it here, or actually you would be looking for divergence here. So, which we do have. We have divergence here on the 1 hour. And I know that as you up the time frames, it only gets worse. So we have divergence here, and I know that there's divergences here as well. Not on this time frame, but on the 30-minute between this and this. So we're showing divergences. Price is going down. How much? We'll see. But I think that it will be the start of a long move down. And this doesn't mean if we're playing an impulse down, this because for my macro count, this is the last actionary impulse. There's no time. I'm not saying how long that's going to take. It could be a long drawn out, ugly wave. Could be very ugly, very long, very drawn out. Doesn't have to be one of these, right? I would expect that it would not be, because if you're nearing the end of a large correction, you would expect to have a more sloping, like in a zigzag. The slope of the A is steeper than the slope of the C. So this is the A of this final action area zigzag. So you would expect at least, you know, more slope than this, but this isn't much slope at all. I wouldn't be surprised to have a lot more slope. So I hope I haven't droned on and on and on too much, guys. I just wanted to address some of the bearish options, and you know, like I say, there are a lot of people out there with bullish counts, and if you wanted to check them out, they're there. I just wanted to debunk them a little bit, but you know, I can talk all day, but we're gonna find out soon enough, because off the top of my head, I haven't considered this before. I just can't think of an option that would maintain the new lows coming in now when we break this. Of course, we have that Y option, so it's not like it's going to go to the moon like the other bullish option where this is a 3, 1, 2, and this is a giant 3 coming in. It would go to my alternative count where this is a 5 wave to this, so it would be, you know, 1-to-1 ratio. I guess they would probably come up to here. So if we're wrong, we'll probably come up to here before we keel. So hope you guys enjoyed. Toot signing out.